Another way to work Tibetan number one, and this is, I believe, much stronger on the body, which both means sometimes it's less suitable, but also when it does become suitable, then it works the body and develops the body to be much stronger and more balanced and more able. So this is an alternative of how I would maybe work Tibetan number one these days. We're standing on one leg, and we're seeing, can we sit into the leg? Can we bend the knee? If the knee is soft, then that connection to the floor is much greater. It also allows us to see where the knee is pointing. So my knee might be pointing over the toes, or it might sort of roll. It can sort of, all that movement in the ankle can allow the knee to be different places. I want to try to keep that knee directly pointing over maybe the middle toe, as a good sort of alignment measure. The other leg, I might be on tiptoes, or I might be working that leg in balance. Depending, in balance is going to be even stronger because you've got all those micro movements in that stabilizing leg. But here, I'm going to try to work one side of the breath to rotate the thigh outwards or inwards, and the other side of the breath here I'm rotating inwards. So seeing how much movement in this lifted leg, or barely touching the floor leg, I can find. But this standing leg wants to try to stay nice and still and stable. So I could work that here, up here. There might be more movement then in that standing leg, but it's trying to stay nice and steady. What I don't want to be doing is letting that leg turn. So I'm not sort of letting that all move. It's just trying to be this leg moving. So in effect, as I try to open this thigh out, this thigh might also be trying to rotate outwards. And as I roll inwards, just trying to keep this leg there, maybe towards the end, there's a bit of both legs working inwards. Inhaling one side, exhaling the other side. Or inhaling one side, exhaling the other side. If I wanted as well, I could find that this might want to work all the way through the spine. So I could work the spine one way and the other way. So I'm trying to develop even more movement. And then when that leg's tired, I move on to the other side. And I can stand on that other leg and do the same on this side. With the recording, as we've just worked it, I'd be this, I'm much faster now, but this is inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. The recording will then say breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, and that is 1 whole minute. And then it starts again with inhale. So that way you could work the timing. You could do 1 minute. The second round, exhale, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. The second round it goes then breathe in, which is then halfway. And then if you're going for the full halfway measure, then you could breathe out, inhale, exhale on the second leg. So you can, if you're going to work 2 minutes and 6 seconds on one leg, then you can do half on one leg, half of the recording on the other. Ultimately, maybe you could do the whole 4 minutes on one leg. That leg will be completely burning if you're standing on that bent, soft leg, but that strength over time, we build that strength up over time, and then that leg will become super balanced, super strong. Also, in this video, just to sort of give a demonstration of what Tibetan number one used to be like, how I first taught it. So some people would sort of think of it as a whirling dervish, and you just sort of finding your 21 spins. This idea of spotting with the head can be helpful for dizziness, or maybe could be even faster. And then eventually, if there's dizziness there, you could stop, look at the hands, and that dizziness kind of subsides down. This is how I used to teach Tibetan number one, and I think there's great merit in it. Spinning is a real sort of youthful thing, as it were, so it's a great energy. And there's something about this turning in space which is energetically very powerful as well, which is why sometimes rather than this variation, I like this sort of turning, even if it's slow. Whee! Losing my balance there. So those are some variations on Tibetan number one. particularly if you work the practice regularly and you want to jazz it up or make it a bit different, that can be a way. And also just make the practice work for you. So if there is something in it that doesn't work, you can make it work for you. As I've explained, for me that Tibetan number one is a lot about this beginning to move at the base of the spine, these rotational, these big long levers, these legs, levering on the spine. That begins to warm up everything through the lower back, up through the spine. And so that's a great way to get the body young, mobile, strong and happy. I hope you found that useful, information useful, and I look forward to sharing my next video, which will be looking at Tibetan number 2 fairly shortly. Take care.